Welcome to the second day of competition in the 33rd World Fly Fishing Championships, hosted by 3 communities in beautiful central Norway. Surrounded by snow-capped mountains and forested hills, the town of Mosjøen, the headquarters for the championships, was once a sleepy farming village. Then, in the 1880s, rich English anglers arrived and bought up the salmon fishing. Anxious to make a return on their investments, these so-called salmon lords opened sawmills and lumber yards. This resulted in a Klondike Gold Rush style growth of the town as people flocked into work for much higher wages than could be found elsewhere in the region. Much quieter now, the town relies on a large aluminium processing plant, farming and of course tourism for its income. Sitting at the mouth of the Vefsna River, the town lies 100 kilometres south of the Arctic Circle and 400 kilometres north of Trondheim, but despite its northern position, the warm Gulf Stream current ensures a gentle climate. The whole area is one of outstanding natural beauty and abundance. Tourists keen on fishing, walking and climbing arrive with the summer sun to enjoy the rural surroundings and long light evenings. Upstream from Mosjøen, past the impressive tumble of Laxfossen waterfall, we reach the confluence of the rivers Vefsna and Austervefsna. Here lies the farming community of Trofors. With only 800 inhabitants, this pretty village lies within the Lonsdal-Visten National Park, which is known for its wildlife and over 2,000 fishing lakes. The third location that supports the Fly Fishing Championships is Hopfeldal. This farming community is famous for its Sami boarding school, founded in 1718. The school teaches the children of these indigenous travelling families from both Norway and Sweden from the age of 6 years old. There is also a thriving board-making industry supplying building material for export. In winter, cross-country skiers use the area as a base for treks into Sweden. The first session gave a very mixed bag of results, with the main river fishing reasonably well and the smaller venues proving a struggle for some. Sector 1 was won comfortably by Andrea Adrivano of Italy. Drawn on some of the deeper water, he caught 15 measurable fish, 5 more than the closest rival Bertrand Jacquemin of France. Jonathan Stagg of the USA looked to have won Sector 2 with 7 fish. But a controller's faulty mobile phone meant Scott Nellings of England could not record his catch until he returned his card to the score tent. He had 8 fish, which gave him first place. Luboš Rosa of the Czech Republic was a close third. Sector 3 at Fiplingdalselva proved to be the hardest, as anglers struggled to find fish in the crystal clear water. During the day, the level of the river dropped by about 2 feet, and this was probably a factor in the low catches. Sector 4 at Storvatnet saw the boat anglers struggle too, with the exception of joint winners Golfit of Poland and Delcourt of France, both of whom recorded 4 fish of identical combined size. Their boat partners also benefited and each added 2 fish. Just 10 anglers caught fish in this session. In Sector 5, the small lake at Svartvatnet fished better than expected for some anglers. Thomas Adams' 7 fish led, with Nemchik of Slovakia in second place. Of the 25 anglers, 11 failed to catch a measurable fish.
The first session was great. The waters are very big and challenging. I got a fish within about 30 minutes, a nice big railing, 48 centimetres. That blew me away to get a nice big fish like that to start with. And that sort of took the pressure off, so I could take it easy after that. 1 big fish, I was happy. And then nothing for about an hour and a half, and then I took a bit of a walk to the other side of my beat. I found a hole and I pulled 3 grayling out in 5 minutes. It doesn't get better than that. So I was really happy, pleased as punch over that.
Session 1 treated me very well. I was on the Vefsna River, the largest river, and caught several fish, 6 to be exact. smallest was 32 centimeters, and the rest were 45 to 47 centimeter fish, so they were all nice, big browns and grayling.
In Session 2, on Sector 3 at Fiplingselva, the anglers drawn on this river were rightly nervous following the difficult morning session. This short river is magnificent, smaller than the Vefsna, but full of features with braids, riffles and large boulders providing many opportunities for trout to lie in. The morning session had seen only 8 anglers catch 17 fish between them, but in the afternoon, unbelievably, the angling was even more difficult. Just 3 anglers caught 4 fish between them. Of these, Martin Droz of the Czech Republic took 2 fish to win the sector. The difficult conditions meant that the anglers had to exploit every possible part of their beats. They utilised all their watercraft skills, moving slowly and even kneeling to avoid spooking any fish. Casting and moving, they explored the braids and main channels, but sadly few of them even had a take, let alone a fish to measure. Catching just 1 fish on this section is likely to ensure the angler has a shot at a top 10 finish, as only 11 out of 50 anglers have now scored less than the maximum 25 points here. On Sector 2, the fishing was not as productive as during the morning session. However, 16 anglers caught fish larger than the size limit. Once again, anglers had to search every inch of their beats to find the fish. Those at the bottom end of the section, on the favoured high-numbered beats, were often chest-deep in water for the whole of the 3-hour session. Wading so deep brings its own problems, with line control as well as with balance. Fish were being caught here, but the average size was smaller than in the morning session.
Okay.
Making the most of a large island on his beat was Luca Papandrea of Italy. Having fished the water on the near side of the island, he crossed and took a fish from a small slot reached from the far bank. Although a successful tactic, this then involved some frantic wading to return to the controller as fast as possible without harming the fish and to avoid losing fishing time. At the upstream end of the river, searching every inch means crossing some very deep channels with very fast flows. This is pretty tricky wading, and Brian Capsay of the USA took a tumble and a short float trip. Thankfully, he quickly regained his footing and his composure to record a fish almost immediately afterwards. He ended up with 3 fish for 6th place in this section. By the end of the session, Luca was able to add a further 5 fish to the one we saw and ended up as clear winner. South Africa's Daniel Factor came second, and Julien Dalguinis of France showed consistency in recording a 3rd place to add to his first round 2nd place, and these catches ensured him a place at the top of the leaderboard.
Stop fishing! Contest is over.
The results at the end of Session 2. In Sector 1, the winner was Devin Olsen of the United States. In Sector 2, the winner was Luca Papandrea of Italy. In Sector 3, Martin Droz of the Czech Republic. In Sector 4, Thomas Adam of the Czech Republic. And in Sector 5, Andrea Adravino of Italy. In the individual results, 1st place is Andrea Adravino of Italy. In 2nd place, Thomas Adam of the Czech Republic. In 3rd place, Bertrand Jacquimin of France. And in the team standings, in 1st place, the Czech Republic. In 2nd place, France, and in 3rd place, Italy.
Big smile.
my fly rod. The length of it is 9 feet. It's classified as a 6, which means that it can be used for fishes up to 3 or 4 kilos. You just need to put them together. It's very soft, so you can feel the fish in your hand. Now we need to put on the fly reel. And make sure it's really stuck on the rod, because you don't want to lose it when you have a fish on. On the fly reel we got 3 different kinds of fly lines. In the middle, at first, we got the backing line, which is a safety line if the fish runs away from you. It can be up to 300 meters. After the backing line, we got a fly line. It can be different kind of types, but this is a floating line, which means that it won't sink down in the water. On the top, on the end of the fly line, starts the leader. The leader is the part of the line that you will put on the fly on. And the leader can have different kind of size, and it all depends on what kind of fish and how big fishes you want to catch. On the top of the leader we now have to put on a fly. It can be difficult to choose one of the flies, but if you look at what insects are in the air right now, it could be a good one. This is supposed to imitate an insect and fly in the air right now. Then you just put it on the leader, and make sure that the fly is stuck on the leader so the fish can't pull it away. So, and then we're ready to fish.
Session 3, Sector 1 on the River Vefsna. More than one angler found themselves in deep water at the lower end of Sector 1. Once again, competitors had to wade up to their armpits to find good holding areas, and several took the conscious decision to wade deeper than the top of their waders in order to find the fish. Comfort taking second place to team commitment. Fourth placed Julien Daguilenes of France was only able to attract the attention of one measurable fish, but doing this avoided the disappointing 25 points. England's Simon Robinson was delighted with his catch, the best one of 2 measurable fish in this session. Italian star Luca Papandera was clearly switched on to the river, following his win in Session 2 on the Auster Vefsna. He had 3 good fish in this session. The largest of these fish was this grayling of 47 centimetres. Another Italian, this time fishing for a different country, as part of Team Sweden, had less luck. Despite putting in 3 hours of solid effort, he did not trouble his controller.
Adesso sento meno freddo. Fammi solo vedere quanto cazzo è questo. 47, 47, 47, 7.
In other circumstances, in such beautiful surroundings, home team angler Erlend Vivelid Nielsen of Norway would have been happy just to be fishing, but he was ecstatic with a catch of 5 fish to finish in second place behind Finnish angler Jarkko Suominen of Finland. Sector 4, Storvatnet. With a strong breeze blowing and bright sunshine, this sector was again going to be difficult. Boat number 7 contained João Azevedo of Portugal, who was hoping for a fish to maintain his team's surprisingly strong start. Sadly, it did not materialise. In boat number 2, Bertrand Jacquemin of France was also looking to catch just one fish, to keep his place in the top 10. In the boat with him was Torbjörn Eriksson of Sweden, again all in need of a fish. However, it was the Frenchman who managed to catch a fish, although it was only exactly 18 centimetres, the minimum legal size. In the rest of the lake, several legal fish were caught. Norwegian Erik Akre in boat number 11 struggled, along with most of the other competitors. Top rod went to Antonin Pešek of the Czech Republic, who caught 4 fish from boat number 8. In the difficult conditions, anglers abandoned the large fish in deep water and went in search of smaller catches. The boatmen rowed them to the side of the lake and they fished alongside the margins using small dry flies and fine leaders. Of course, fishing tight to the banks was not always possible. Finally the match was over and the boats returned to shore, some with tails of lost fish, others with tails of fish that didn't reach the mark. Only the few anglers who had fish were content with their day's work.
Today did not go well at all. I fished the lake from the boat and shared the boat with a Scotsman named Mike. Neither of us found a fish. Mike did catch one small fish that didn't measure, but it was very, very tough. No wind, a little bit too bright for good brown trout fishing, and didn't treat us very well.
Not so bad. In the river we caught some good fish. We had a good on Vefsna. On Östervefsna we also caught one fish, so that was good for us. But in the lake fishing today we had blanks, and also in Fiplingdalselven, so that was not that we hoped, but maybe the next sessions for us.
We knew right from the start, as soon as we started practicing here, that there'd be loads of blanks. So we just had to tell each other, accept it when you get your blank. It's annoying, but just get on with it. And if we can, try and muster together the odd fish every now and again and save the blank, we've got a chance of getting a medal, because this is going to be a real topsy-turvy World Championships. Whether we're going to catch up the Czechs or the French, I don't know, but I still think there's a chance of a bronze medal if we can get our act together in the final couple of sessions.
That was good for me. Caught 5 fish yesterday. I had a decent beat, and I ended up crossing, and that's where I caught most of my fish.
I understand you got wet in the process.
I did, not as wet as I did today, but yeah, pretty much whatever it takes to catch the fish, and the water looked excellent across, so I'll power through it and get across whenever I can.
And were they big fish that you caught?
There were two browns that were decent fish, yes, and then a couple other ones that were smaller size, but they didn't measure, so I was happy.
I drew the bank section of the lake in the morning and had 3 fish on that, and then went straight to the boat section in the afternoon. I was really looking forward to fishing the boats. Then I found out that where we'd been practicing and catching on deep methods, people had decided to fish for the smaller fish. So I had a complete change of plan and went to a small bay with shallow water, but I caught a fish. And once I caught a fish, it took the pressure off, because you know that half the field are going to blank. So that was the only fish I did catch, but it still got me a top 10 placing. So I was quite happy with that.
And today you've been up to the river where nobody wants to fish.
Yeah, the Flip Dust Silver, or whatever it's called, or the River of Death as we call it. It produced 3 pegs that produced fish yesterday afternoon, and 6 pegs in the morning, and this morning it's gone back to only 3 pegs. So there's been 10 fish caught by the same 3 pegs that were caught on yesterday afternoon, and unfortunately mine was not one of them.
So what do you put this down to?
I don't think there's many fish in that river. We've had fluctuating levels. We've had the water going up and down since we've been here, but now it's gone down quite a bit. Even the lake has gone down a lot. You can see it's sort of 6 foot down at least, and I think the fish have just left the normal beats and gone into the lake.
The results after session 3. Sector 1, Jaakko Suominen of Finland. Sector 2, Edgardo Donna of Italy. Sector 3, Saku Naimanen of Finland. Sector 4, Antonin Pešek of the Czech Republic. Sector 5, Jonathan Stagg of Australia. The individual results. In first place, Andrea Andrevino of Italy. In second place, Valerio Santi Amantini of Italy. And in third place, Martin Dross of the Czech Republic. In the team results, in first place, the Czech Republic. In second place, France. In third place, Italy.